Not to blow too much sunshine up your ass, but Merry Christmas. It does strike me, Malcolm, that your books are perfect, like, what is it? What do we call it? A trilogy of just warning from the beginning. It's all one story. These people are not, what's the word? Loyal to the United States of America. Starting from the Russia story to through Ukraine, through this insurrection. I mean, you just, in every one of your books has laid out the danger and how we got here and where we're going if you people don't start paying attention. And it's almost too late.
I'll give you a little preview. My next book's propaganda campaign will kick off on January 3rd.
Ah, that's when we're back on the air.
Yes.
I'll send you the cover, but its title is They Want to Kill Americans.
Yeah.
The malicious, terrorist, and deranged ideology of the Trump insurgency.
Yeah.
I finished that book last June. Let me tell you something about this. I've told them I may have to do an epilogue or a new chapter.
Yeah.
It's only picked up steam since I've finished this book. I had to remove the word coming from the Trump insurgency because the insurgency arrived while we were editing it.
Yeah.
This is not a joke. We are in very, very grave danger as a democracy. And, you know, I think that if all of you, if you're really distraught and you don't know what to do, get on your phones to your senators and your congressmen.
Yeah.
Create, you know, here in New York State, they had what's called Faso Friday, where they're trying to get rid of Congressman Faso. Everyone showed up at his office every Friday. Started with 5 people, ended up with a couple of hundred, protesting and demanding their rights. Maybe we should all start thinking about going to our Democrat and our Republican congressmen and start showing them we do have a voice. Otherwise, we're going to be bulldozed over.
Yeah. Well, as you know, our love story began with probably my daddy issues and then seeing your patriotism on TV. But you pointed to this tweet, and you know my dad was a assistant prosecutor at Nuremberg, and you just said this, and somebody tweeted, the Nuremberg trials helped Germany move forward after their government was subverted by an authoritarian movement. Until the people who attempted to do the same here are held accountable and their next coup attempt already underway is stopped, there will be no healing. And it's a perfect historical analogy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we've got to have accountability. You know, I know everyone's hammering Merrick Garland. Good, hammer. I don't know what the Department of Justice is doing. They're going by institutional precepts. No one even, you know, they had Hakeem Jeffries on Morning Joe a couple of days ago. And Joe Scarborough was pulling his hair out, talking about the end of democracy. And Hakeem Jeffries, who is, you know, people have said could be speaker someday, was talking about policy.
Yeah.
We're beyond policy.
Yeah.
We can send checks to everyone now. What we don't have is emotion. What we don't have is a desire to defend our own democracy because we think it's going to work out. Steve Bannon isn't planning on it to work out.
Yeah.
He's rigging the system. He's on radio every day throwing contempt in our faces. You know, Dan Bonino and that other
Bongino,
Shapiro. These guys are the destruction engineers of the American experiment. And every one of you needs to understand that I don't write these books for fun. I didn't want to ever write another Trump book. But it's last August is when I figured it out, 2020, they were organizing as a paramilitary of the Trump campaign.
Yeah.
That's what came out of George Floyd. And that means that, you know, these guys are buying up ammo. They're buying up guns. I'm not going to say it's a second civil war, but, you know, there could be some incidents which could flash into states denying you your rights and consolidating against the government.
Yep.
We have to win at the ballot box.
Yep.
And it's your job, every listener's job, to help out in this.
Yep. By the way, speaking of George Floyd, Derek Chauvin is now pleading guilty to violating George Floyd's civil rights in a federal case. It's another example, you know, whether it's that or the God, I'm forgetting. There's so many cases, but Malcolm. First of all, videotaping, public pressure, it all works, right? I mean, it all works. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. What case am I blanking on? Not just George Floyd, but it was just taped and we got justice. Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Malcolm, you're right. Like all of the above. The D.C. Attorney General has just sued Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers over January 6th, charging the far-right groups conspired to overturn the results of the election in a coordinated act of domestic terrorism. The word that you are an expert in that should be used. These are terrorists. And
you notice it's the D.C. Attorney General and not our Attorney General.
Yeah. Yes. Because it's a civil suit basically, right? But I just think you got to go at this all of the above, every which way. This one, just real quick. I mean, of all these texts we're seeing, Kyle Cheney tweets, "Don't think this one is fully sunk in yet. A member of Congress suggested that the GOP-controlled states anoint Trump electors, quote, before those states were even called. This wasn't overturning the election. This was scrapping democracy before the votes were even counted." So. Yeah. I mean, if the Fox News hosts, it's hypocrisy. But these people, this is treason. I mean, this is I don't know what else you call it.
Well, it's sedition. It's the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. And to tell you the truth, I mean, you're going to have to start playing hardball, and we get the evidence. People need to be kicked out of Congress because the article of sedition says they cannot hold office. Yeah. Right? They cannot hold office if they were involved in this. Listen, these people made an PowerPoint on how to overthrow the government. A PowerPoint, and sent it to the White House, and it was distributed. Every other coup that I ever saw in the third world was, yahoos grabbing guns and trying to take over the police station. This is literally the Russian Gerasimov doctrine. Russia, through Fox News, controls 1/3 of the mindset of the American public. They don't have to do anything. Yeah. We will overthrow our own government. And that's what's happening. Yeah. We are in very, very serious trouble here. And I mean I'm saying that as a professional, not just a patriot. Yeah. These people are going to try it again because the sentences being handed down aren't strong enough, and we aren't ratcheting up enough people and kicking enough people out of office to make them afraid. They're not afraid. This is why they're going to triple down. What
all you can do for America and for Christmas is to buy all of Malcolm's books, put them in a little, and give them to whoever you love, and say treason's greetings. This is how we got here.
Wrap them in a ribbon.
Yes.
Yes, make it festive.
A black ribbon.
Yeah.
For America. Yes.
It's a goth collection.
Yeah. All right. See you next year. Love you, Malcolm. Mwah.
Thanks, Malcolm.
Thanks, Malcolm.
Take care. Ow.